right, Sean Zattel here with Bill Haney.
Sean Z, what's up, buddy?
Quickly becoming a great trainer in this sport, ain't that right, Bill?
Well, I mean, I hope that I'm doing an effective job for Devin. If I wasn't, then we bring on somebody that can.
Yeah, but it definitely looks like, I mean, for what it's worth, you know, every fight just being more comfortable in the role as a great trainer for a world champion. So,
well, anytime that you have a fighter like Devin and you guys have great chemistry, because ultimately I look for Devin for me to be his eyes outside the ring,
right,
for Devin to see everything and to see what he can do and what he can't do. And I think as a trainer, you have to know the limitations of your fighter. Of course, you want to always pull out the most that you can, but of course, they're seeing things in there that you can only see by being inside the ring.
No doubt. But I'm going to ask you to take those eyes and apply them to Wilder-Ortiz. What do you see in this fight?
I pick Wilder. I mean, for things that it's kind of hard to prepare for a Wilder. You know, I mean, with this athleticism, with that big right hand. And I think for Ortiz, for Wilder, in terms of Wilder, he can find guys that can emulate an Ortiz style quicker than Ortiz can find someone to prepare, you know, for a Wilder style fight. So just on those things alone, I think that Wilder will be more. Wilder will surprise Ortiz more, and he'll win the fight.
Do you think Wilder does things in there that we don't give him credit for? Because everyone likes.
Of course,
yeah.
Of course. He's doing things that traditional fighters, you know, won't do. You know what I mean? But he also has eyes because he has a great trainer in Mark Brilliant, where he knows what his opponent is doing. So people think that it's a method to the Wilder madness. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what his camp says.
He's all over the place, but he knows what you're doing. He knows what your next move is. You just don't know what his is.
Yeah, because it looks like that IQ might be a little underrated when you watch the tape. It looks like he's kind of setting traps for the right. He's not just out there.
Sean Z, you point out a good point. That's what I'm seeing in him. I mean, you know, you don't become, you know, arguably one of the baddest guys on the planet on accident. So I don't take anything from Ortiz, but I think Ortiz just has a traditional style that Wilder was able to prepare for.
Right.
Again, after seeing him the first time and then able to come back and prepare, I don't think that the Ortiz camp has the same ability in Wilder's fight style.
One thing they do got in Ortiz's camp, though, is Larry Wade. We know him out here in Las Vegas.
Coach. No, I think that Ortiz is going to come prepared physically. He's going to be prepared mentally. But from a style standpoint, you won't actually get a chance to see Wilder till you get in there, because it's no sparring partners that can emulate that style to prepare for it. But the opposite with Wilder, you can bring in somebody to emulate Ortiz style. They might not be as explosive, but they'll have that same style of fighting.
So you see it knockout around what time, or a decision maybe even, or?
At this level, I mean, even though I'm picking Wilder with the way they sling that leather, you know, I think it can be a knockout at any given time.
Right.
But I tend to lean more with Wilder.
Right, because Ortiz can punch too, so it's probably going to be a knockout, right?
Yeah. It'll probably. I would be safe to say it'll probably be a knockout.
And is he the best heavyweight in the world right now?
I would say so. And for some of the reasons being that Wilder has been willing to make the fight with everyone. You know,
right.
I didn't see the urgency, you know, for everyone else to make the fight. Although I'm a huge Anthony Joshua fan as well. You know, but I didn't see the same
intensity, hunger.
The same hunger to make the fight against Wilder that I seen Wilder chasing Anthony Joshua around. You know, it's kind of unfortunate that the loss with Ruiz, because I wanted to, as a fan, I want to see Joshua and Wilder get it on. But and like I said, I'm a big fan of Anthony Joshua. But with the loss to Ruiz, I can't say he's the best heavyweight on the planet. So I would have to go with Wilder
You feel
as being the best over Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua,
and Ruiz,
everyone alike, and Ruiz.
But like talking about that lack of intensity and hunger, it looked like just a little bit that's what showed up against Ruiz. How, if that's the case, how could he get that back? How does a fighter like Joshua get it back?
When you see everything that you've worked for become in jeopardy, then that alone should bring that intensity. I went over there to London, and Joshua is like Michael Jordan, you know what I mean, in the United States. So, I mean, just with that, a chance to lose all of that, I think he's going to have a different intensity and a different hunger in the fight.
You think he wins that fight with Ruiz, that rematch?
I hope so.
You had to bet on you like it. That's your guy. So
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Do you think he actually will, though, if you were betting?
That style that Ruiz has is going to be tough for Joshua. It's going to be a tough fight, and you know, from what I'm hearing, you know, things aren't going like they would like in camp. You know what I mean? And I don't have an inside on it.
Right.
I'm just hearing what I'm reading. I mean, you know, I'm just speaking on what I'm reading. So it's going to be a very interesting fight. You know, and I hope Joshua pulls it out. But Ruiz is no slouch. I sat next to Joseph Parker during the fight, and he told me before the fight, he says Ruiz can crack. You know, so it's going to be tough.
You mentioned like that style Ruiz brings is just tough. Is that what this just might be? We're talking about intensity and hungry, and was he there that night? Is it possible it's just a bad style?
Right. It's just a bad style for a guy that big, because Ruiz throws a lot of punches, and big guys aren't normally used to seeing that, having to defend that. So it's a style that most heavyweights don't have. That hand speed that Ruiz has. Combination. So I mean, I think his style would be a problem for any heavyweight.
Right, because it seemed like that Joshua likes to do what Ruiz does, but Ruiz is shorter. He can kind of get on, you know. But
right. It's going to be a tough fight for Joshua. But like I said, I hope that he pulls it out.
And lastly, Bill, saw Devin and yourself too taking a picture with a man who's in a wheelchair who served for the military.
Yeah, a veteran. He was, I think, a veteran of the Army. He's an Army vet.
Yep.
And me, I'm sympathetic to the veterans and what they've done for the United States. My grandfather was a veteran of the Korean War, so you know, it was good to get a chance to talk to him and hear what how boxing helps the veterans, not only veterans, but also the men and women that are deployed overseas. And it was just great to hear how boxing helps them get through tough times. And for him to know who Devin is, that was a big pleasure in my life.
Yeah, and not kissing up here, but the last few fights seems like you take Devin and you guys feed the homeless, you hand out money to the homeless, you do a few things. Is that just something that's important to you?
Yeah. Well, take nothing away from it, but me and Devin, we get a big self gratification in going out and helping and giving and stuff. So it's just as much helping us as it's helping the others as well. So I think it's a twofold, and we want to point that out that we get a lot out of giving, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Whether when you guys are there or not there, you know what I mean? Giving for us is everything.
Yeah, not to get too deep, but you feed them and it feeds your soul, right?
Absolutely. So it's a twofold.
And lastly, Bill, what's next?
Of course, he's defending the
Javier Fortuna, right?
Well, yeah, he's defending the lightweight world title. They said that the WBC has ordered the Fortuna fight. So we'll approach that. We'll wait to see what happens from there in terms of the purse bid, who's going to get the fight, where the fight is going to be at. But as of now, that's the plans.
You ever taken a look at this guy Fortuna? He's fast. He was once prospect of the year in 2012.
Yeah. Not only that, he's been at the door of greatness more than one time. I think 2 or 3 times. He's been right there, and arguably he's actually won the fights. His different opinions have him winning the fight. So I think he's a good fighter. For sure. And he's a guy who feels like I should have been here already, and so great. Yeah, great point. Fortuna has a chip on his shoulder, and like I said, he's a very good fighter.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you, Bill.